and welcome to Composite Online Academy. Today we want to look more into the composite mapping. So we are going to be solving more examples on composite mapping. So let's have this example. If function f, g, and h are mappings defined on the set of real numbers by f of x is equal to 3x plus 1, g of x is equal to 2x minus 1, and h of x is equal to x. Now the question is, find A, f of g, b, g of f, c, h of f, c, h of g, d, f of h, e, a, b, c, d, e, e, f, f, g of h, g, g of f of g, f of g of h, f of g of h, then h, g of f of h. Okay, let's do these ones. Now solution. We write down our functions again. F of x is equal to 3, f of x is equal to 3x plus 1, f g of x is equal to 2x plus 1, and h of x is equal to x. Now what you are going to do here to solve the first one, which is f of g, f of g, f of g is going to be a function of, let's use this bracket to represent function of g, g of x, function of g of x. Now, what it means is this: we place the expression for g inside this, and then we look for the function of it. So we are going to have function of, then we look for the expression for g of x and put it inside this bracket. So it's going to be function of g of x is 2x plus 1. So we put g of x minus 1, not g of x plus 1. I think it's minus 1. Okay, minus 1. G of x so we put this expression inside the brackets. Now function of 2x minus 1. Now what is the value for expression for function of x, f of x? F of x is 3x plus 1. 3x plus 1. Now this value for g of x is representing x. It is going to represent x in this second function. So we have f. Now this whole thing is going to represent any value of x we see in f of x. F of x is 3x plus 1. So, and we have g of x as this. So we put this value for g of x to represent this x. So we are going to have f bracket f, let's remove x now. F of x is actually 3x plus 1. So we write 3, then we put this expression to represent x. So it becomes 3 brackets 2x minus 1. Now plus this one that is here. Now plus 1. So this becomes the f of g, that is FOG, 3 brackets 2x minus 1 plus 1. Now that is going to give us, we simplify it, it is going to give us 3 times 2x will give us 6x minus 3 times 1, that is 6x minus 3, then plus the 1 that is there. We simplify this and then we get 6x minus 2. This is the final answer. Now let's look at B. Now for B is g of x. What we are going to do is we write g, this bracket of, then f of x. F of x. Now that means we put the expression for f of x inside this bracket. Now it becomes g of 3x plus 1, g of 3x plus 1. Now we find the function g by replacing every x in g by this expression. That is For this place we have G. For this G, each value of x, which is 2x, this x now, we use this f, the expression for x, to replace it. So we now have G is 2x minus 1. So we have 2 brackets 3x plus 1, then minus 1. Now 3x minus 3x plus 1, this represents f of x. So that becomes 6x plus 2 minus 1. Now which gives us 6x plus 2 minus 1 is 1, 2x plus 1. So this is the final answer for this one. Now let's look at C, which is h of x. For h of x, we write h brackets function f of x, which is f of x. Now this becomes h brackets the value for f of x, which is f of x is 3x plus 1. Now we look for the f for the function h of this expression by replacing every x in h by the expression for f of x. So we have our f our h of x is x. So we just put that h of x, this value is now going to be h of x now is equal to 3x plus 1. H of x is going to be 3x plus 1. That is x. So h of x is equal to x. So we just put the value expression for f of x to replace the x. So there's nothing else, so we leave it like this. So the h of x is this. Now, another example, h of g. H of g is h in brackets g of x. G of x. Now this is going to be, we put the expression for g of x. So we have h bracket 2x minus 1. 2x minus 1 is the expression for g of x. Now it means that we are going to replace every value in h, every x in h by this expression. Now since h is equal to h of x, since h of x is simply x, we use this expression to replace this x here. So it becomes 2x minus 1. This is the final answer. Now we have f of h. F of h. Now that is equal to f in brackets h of x, h of x. Now h of x is simply x, so we put it here, so it becomes f brackets x. Now we use this x to replace every x in f of x, so it becomes f of x is 3x plus 1, so it becomes 3 bracket x plus 1, which is equal to 3x plus 1. Now we have g of x, g of h. In g of h, we write this looking for expression of h of x. Now we put h of x, which is x, so it becomes g in brackets h of x is x. So we now have, we go to g of x, and every x there, we replace it by x. It is still going to give us the same thing. So we have g of x is 3x minus 1. So we have it is equal to 3 brackets x minus 1, which is equal to 3x minus 1. Now we go to f of g of h. Now this is going to give us f of g of h, f of g of h. Now we have calculated g of h above, so we put the expression for g of h here and solve further, so which is going to give us f of g of h that we calculated is g of h is 3x 2x minus 1. G of h, g is g is 2x minus x. Okay, so we do small correction here. G is 2x minus 1. So this one is 2x minus 1. So we go there and now say 2x minus 1. This represents the g of h that we calculated here, g of h, 2x minus 1. So we now put 2x minus 1 into every x in f of x. So f of x, which is f of x, which is equal to 2 f of x, which is equal to 3x plus 1, 3x plus 1. It becomes, now for this x, we replace it with this, so it becomes 3 bracket 2x minus 1, then plus 1. Now this is going to give us 3 times 2x is going to give us 6x. It gives us 6x, then minus 3 minus 1, 3 times 1 is minus 3, then plus 1. Then this is going to give us 6x minus 2. This is f of g of h. Now the last one, g of f of h. Now this is going to give us g of g of f of h, g of, so this is g of f of h. We have calculated f of h above. F of h, we have it f of h. Okay, we have f of h as this 3x plus 1. So we put this as f of h in the expression. So we have this as, this is equal to g of, oh, what did I get it? 2x, 2x plus 1, 2x plus 1, I mean 3x plus 1, 3x plus 1, 3x plus 1 is f of h. So we now come to g, and every x in g, we replace it by this expression. So we are now going to have, since our g is equal to 2x minus 1, we replace every x here by the f of h. Now which is now going to give us, it is going to give us 2 brackets 3x plus 1, 3x plus 1, 3x plus 1, then minus 1. That is this one. This whole thing represents the x here. Now minus the last one. So it becomes 2 times this. 2 times 3 is 2, is 6x. 6x plus 2 minus 1, which gives us 6x plus 1. So this is the final answer. So this is how to solve composite mapping.